Pierre Ferrari, President and Chief Executive Officer of Heifer International. So where we work, which is with generally the poorest of the poor, or the more oppressed people on this earth, the level of education, the level of quality of thinking, etc., is very poor. So that can be remedied, and it is being remedied through education. So one of the most sustainable, valuable things one can do is to educate the women and the girls. Not just the girls. I think we need to educate the girls, obviously, but it's also the women who have not been educated because they were raised through a very patriarchal system, which basically didn't believe that women should be educated or girls should be educated. That's where I would begin. So the first is education, I've just mentioned. The second is to find a way to empower the women or encourage them to have self-confidence and an approach to not only the patriarchy that exists around them, but also vis-a-vis each other. Because once women have a sense of connection with other women in a particular community, then I think they can help each other very rapidly. So collective action is another major opportunity for them. If we can get those two things going, which we do, I think in the work that we do, I think it'll accomplish a lot. The technical training and everything else, I think that's more obvious, but I think it's psychosocial. The work that has to be done at the bottom of the pyramid, it is called, it's psychosocial. No, there's too many barriers in the way. The systems are, we've talked about patriarchy, but there are many other barriers to women. And frankly, it's not just barriers to women, it's barriers to education in general. You go to a lot of the countries where we work, the school system is basically not functioning well, the teachers are not particularly well trained. That is not something you fix in 10 years. And even if there is improvement, which there is all the time, a long way to go. And I guess I'm old enough to know that things are much slower than you would like them to be. So metric is important, but it's not the only thing. In business, the saying is if what gets measured gets done. But there are some things that can't be measured. You can go to a community or even with a relationship with government, and the attitudes, the social context, which are very hard to measure because people will say what they expect to say, but they actually don't behave that way. So I think there's a combination. There's certain things, and we try to measure women's empowerment. We've got 3 key measures, etc. And it's helpful. There's no question when these things move, things have changed in those communities, but it's not all. I have 2 daughters, and they're young women, 21 and 24. So the advice I give them, and I'll tell you more general, but the advice I give them all the time is keep educating yourself, continuous learning. Men are not really in your way. This is in the United States, which is a very different place. And just be humble, but be, someone used a very good word with it, be persuasive. That's the advice I would give young women here. But I think humility is important too. It's important for men too, it's not just for women. Where we work, I think the most important advice I would give them, and we do give them that, is this idea of self-confidence, self-reliance, and a sense of accountability, that I'm actually responsible for my own life.